Hey guys, so this is going to be my latest project. I noticed that I'm going to be needing to drag some trees out of the woods for different reasons to resecure my fencing. I want to make some borders in the garden, different things. So I got to find an easy way to drag these things out because there is a big hill behind the house, and to bring them up that hill is a real pain in the butt. So I'm going to utilize my quad to do that. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to make a dolly that I can chain the logs up to and kind of suspend them and then roll them out. So the front portion is going to be this here. And this was something that came with the quad. It was just like a manual lift. I have a power lift also, but this is like a manual lift. And this here will lift up and down. So what I did was I welded these two plates on here, and then I cut a couple of notches in them to hold the chains. So the idea is I'm going to lay the log on the ground underneath, lower this down, chain it up, and then I'll winch it, crank it back up so that it suspends it in the air. All right, so that'll hold the front end of the log. Now the back end, I'm going to need also a way to do a similar thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repurpose this old trailer that I don't really use that much. So what I did was I cut the axle out. All right, so I just basically split it and then pulled it out of either side. So here's the wheels and the axles. I'm going to utilize this bar also. And then I'm going to repurpose this hitch that I found in the dumpster. They were going to throw it away. It's a nice solid piece of 2x2 bar, so we're going to use that. So what I'm going to do with this is going to be the top, and then I'm going to run two more bars down the sides, kind of like a U shape like this, and then we'll put the wheels on the bottom, and we'll hook up chains and stuff like that. So this way I can hook up the chain in the back, have the log suspended in the back, and then hook the chain up in the front and have it suspended in the front. So I got to pick up a couple more pieces of bar so I can finish making that portion of it, and then we'll weld on the wheels and then put on the other piece. I'll kind of show you how it goes together as I put it together. So right now this front piece is pretty much done the way I wanted to do it. It's going to lower and raise, be able to hold on with the chain. So that's going to work out good. And then once I get a couple more pieces of bar for this here, we'll get that welded up, and I'll show you how that'll work. All right, I'll be back. All right, so one thing I need to do is I need to make a way to connect these two together. So I'm going to use this piece here that I have, and I'm going to weld it onto the lift, okay? And kind of weld it on like this, and that way when I want to tow it around, I'll have a way of connecting it. All right, so let's get that done. Alright, so I got that tacked on there. Now I'm just going to run a bead on there so it's good and secure. Alright, so now I have this piece welded on here, and it's going to give me an attachment point to hook up the back piece when I'm towing it along without a log on there. Alright, so we'll move on. Alright, so now you can get a better idea of what I was talking about. So this is going to be the arm for the back piece, and it basically just hooks on like this, and I needed an eyelet to hook it to. So now I have that there. So now when I want to pull it, I can just hook it right onto there. And I'll show you how that works once I get this thing all together. Alright, so we're going to take a ride this morning down to local salvage yard that we have in town here. They have all kinds of scrap stuff. I'm going to see if maybe I can find some metal framing or something that I can use on the skidder. So let's take a ride down there, see if we can find some. Alright, so this is our local recycle place. And this guy's got all kinds of scrap and different things, so we're going to kind of prod through here for a little bit, see if we can find some metal to make the framework, and hopefully we'll find something. Alright. Alright, so he's got all kinds of metal and all kinds of stuff here. Just trying to figure out if I want to fabricate something or if I want to try to find something that's already somewhat made. I did stumble across this, which I might be able to do something with. So I'm going to dig around a little bit more, see if there's anything else, but this might be good if he's not asking too much for it. Alright, so sometimes plans change, which they have. So originally I was going to use that bar and then get some other bar and weld to it and make a frame. And then when I went down to the salvage yard, I saw this piece here, so I decided to grab this. It's already got the shape I need. I'm thinking maybe I'll just cut the legs off, shorten it up a little bit, and then use these for the arm coming off of it. So I think that's going to work out good. You get some pretty heavy-duty steel here. I don't have to worry about it bending or anything like that. So, like I say, I think I'm going to cut it right at the bend here, or actually over here. And then I'll drill some holes, we'll run the axles through, and get it welded up, and I think that's going to work out pretty good. So let's see what we can do here. Cut the ends off of those pieces, and now what I got to do is I got to drill a couple of holes in this end for the axle so I can weld those in, and then those will slide back in here, and then we'll have the wheels and the framework. So let's get those drilled out. Alright, so at this point what I did was I just notched out the bar, and I'm going to just weld it on like that, right? And then that way it'll be solid on there, and I can attach it back to the bracket. So let me get that welded up, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, we got those welded up now. I'm just going to cut these down, and we'll just throw a little paint on there, stick them back in the frame, and then we'll work on the arm. Okay, so next step. Took the tires off so that we can put the bolts in here. It's going to go there. That's going to go there. Alright, so we'll just tighten these up. We'll get the wheels back on. Okay, at this point you can see how it's starting to shape up. So now I have the frame, and we get the wheels attached. And now I just got to put the bar coming out like this so that I can attach it to the tree and to the quad also. So let me get some paint on this bare metal here, and then we'll start working on that piece there. Okay, so we got that all welded up, and we'll get that mounted onto the frame. All right, so it's looking pretty good. All right, so I'm going to just weld a plate on the back here so that we can hook the chains onto. Maybe put a plate on the front too. And then I think we'll be pretty much done with this thing. So let's do that. All right, so here it is all set. And now we can see how it all comes together. So I have this manual lift on the back, okay, and this will lower it down and raise it up. Okay, I welded on a bracket here that allows me to hook it there. You have chains in the back that'll hold it in place, so you can suspend the log from there and there. When you have a big, huge tree, you can unhook it from there and just pull this back and hook this at the end of the log, and there'll be a big gap in the middle, so it'll suspend from the front and the back. That way you can pretty much haul any size log you want. But that's pretty much it. So I think it turned out pretty good. Originally I was going to weld up some framework, but then I happened to find this, I guess it was for a lawnmower, some sort of attachment for it. And you know, I just ended up cutting off the bottoms, taking those pieces, making this here. I figured I'd weld it like that. That way I can grab it at this point and lift it up if I need to. So yeah, I think it turned out good. I think it's going to come in very handy for hauling logs around the yard. So that was my project for today. If you guys like the video, give a thumbs up, give a like, give a share, subscribe if you haven't. And I'll be doing a future video showing how this actually works with hauling the logs around. So stay tuned for that. Okay? Alright guys, I'll talk to you later.